Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome back to Floyd County Conservation's somewhere in Floyd County. As you can tell, I am out wandering the county again, and it's a little windy, but it is a gorgeous day. And today I am at the Peterson Prairie area to show you that not all of our parks or areas are large in size, but that doesn't mean that they don't pack a lot of punch into a small area. So let's get turned around here. And you can see Peterson Prairie. We are just southwest of the Fossil and Prairie Center. And this area is managed between Floyd County Conservation and the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. So they come down about once a year to kind of check on the management of the area. Look at how the area is doing, the species, and what's going on. And this property is kind of split on both sides of the gravel road here. And the gravel road actually takes a little bend, and so there were these two remnant pockets, which happen to contain some native prairie remnants. So that's why this area is so special, and I knew that it would be a good time to come out, because remember I told you, as beautiful as the woods are in the spring, that's what the prairie is in June. Another good thing about this area is it also is a great place to teach everyone about poison ivy. If you don't know what poison ivy looks like, this is a nice patch of it in front of us here. You can see it's leaves of 3, so here is a cluster of 3 leaves, and the leaves have a smooth edge to them. They don't have a toothed edge or a rough edge to them. They're smooth. And so for some people, they may be very sensitive to poison ivy and break out in a very serious rash, have lots of swelling. Other individuals may be able to walk through it and not be bothered at all. So it's just kind of best to just use caution when you're around it. And there's even, if you happen to be around it and you know they're sensitive, there's special creams and soaps that you can use to wash it off. So we will just go through there. And one of the first prairie plants we're going to see is this one here in front of us. This plant right here. It looks as if it's a woody shrub, but it's actually a prairie plant, and it is called lead plant. So you can see it has kind of these very delicate leaves, and then this is the flower head here, which will turn a bright purple, and you can see on some of them they've actually opened up to that purple color. So that is lead plant, and you can see we have a nice little grouping of it here. And the amazing thing about this area, like I said, is there's a lot of plants, a lot of native stuff that you don't necessarily see in other areas, all packed into one little package. So that's the great thing about Peterson Prairie. It's one of the first areas that I come out to check in the spring because this is where I can find some pasque flowers. And pasque flowers are a low-growing purple flower that comes out in April as soon as the snow melts. So it's one of my favorites to watch for. So you can see these yellow ones here in front of us. That would be Coreopsis. So there's a grouping of Coreopsis. These purple ones here, of course, are pale purple coneflower or Echinacea. So there's some coneflowers. Not only are there the ones blooming from this year, but there's some of their distinctive seed pods from last year. So that would be the pale purple coneflower, lots of lead plant, Coreopsis. As we get along to this other side, there were some more that I saw. Like I said, this area is managed for the prairie, so it's on a prescribed burn rotation between the east half and the west half. So it does get its dose of TLC, or its management, as well as our larger areas. And if you remember from being at the Little Cedar area last week, when you look at a prairie, there's a lot more different heights to it and a lot more diversity than you may think. So it's just like the woods. This flower here is called thimbleweed. So that's another one of our native prairie flowers. And when we do those prescribed burns, it helps to keep the woody vegetation off. So if we have any volunteer trees that have been deposited by the birds as they fly over, any shrubs or anything like that, those fires will help to manage those. Here's another white one, but a little bit different. This one here, that is prairie clover, and this is the white variety, and there's also a purple one as we get up here. And as I was walking around in here, I don't know if you can notice, but there are tons of butterflies and insects coming out of here as they're going to all of the nectar sources. I was able to tour the property this spring with the individual from the Iowa National Heritage Foundation, and we happened to stumble upon a pheasant nest. So there's birds, there's insects, there's mammals, reptiles, lots of different animals that are all using this native prairie habitat. You can see it's just kind of a blaze of color. There's a lot of yellow coreopsis. And as we get over to this side, and we'll start down, we'll go across the other side. The other side seems to have a majority of the cone flowers blooming on it right now. It's a little bit of a wetter area. It's not as dry as this side is. This side, as you'll notice as we go down the hill here, is pretty rocky. But that's one of the benefits of prairies, that it's able to thrive in the not so perfect growing conditions, and actually prefers those habitats. Here is the purple prairie clover right here as we come down. So here's the purple prairie clover. See, it looks just like the white, just different colors, but they are two different species. Are able to get outside on these beautiful, I would call them summer days now. The temperature has definitely gone up, and the humidity has gone up as well. So it's not quite as pleasant to be outside, but it doesn't mean that we should stay inside by any stretch. You see out here on the side of the road, we've got lots of milkweed, which is good. I've been checking them for monarch eggs or caterpillars to see if we have any of those that I can find. Typically at this time of year, I would be showcasing them inside the Fossil and Prairie Center. But since the center is still closed due to COVID-19, we've just kind of been allowing those to grow up and mature out in nature. See, there's another nice stand-up poison ivy in front of me. Here are the cone flowers. Not only is there's a bunch of cone flowers up here, there's also some cones. Isn't that beautiful here with all of these cone flowers? You can see that for as good and thriving as these are, there's not a lot of plants on the ground. Here is our state plant, the wild rose. And the wild rose also helped the pioneers as their source of vitamin C when they ate the rose hips. This plant here, this is compass plant, and you can see its leaves, which are very stiff, very thick and rough, are pointed north and south, so that way they get all of the sun in the east in the morning, and then they get the sun as it sets, the energy from the sun from the west. So that's why it was named compass plant, because it would help you to be able to tell which direction you were going. But you can see there are just flowers everywhere. And as I recall, this side was burned this year. So that's probably why we're having such a spectacular showcase. Another one that I almost stepped over, it's just coming into bloom right here. This is butterfly milkweed, which has that orange flower to it. So I know at the Fossil and Prairie Park we have actually 5 different kinds of milkweeds. The monarchs appreciate all 5 of them. So don't think that you just have to have that common milkweed source for monarchs. They like all of the milkweeds. So I hope you all enjoyed our little tour of Peterson Prairie in its June showcase of pale purple coneflowers, coreopsis, compass plants, and a variety of other smaller flowers. Hope you guys have a great day and are able to get outside if possible. I will see you all on Thursday. Bye.